going, everybody? Chaos Gaming here, and yes, we are back with some more My Hero All Justice. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the newest patch notes that is set to release alongside the newest DLC character, Lady Nagan, who is out currently on PC, but sadly on PS5 and other consoles. We gotta wait until I think around midnight, or like basically around the nighttime of the next day. So with that being said though, let's not waste any more time. Let's blow this shit right the hell up. And ladies and gentlemen, let us get started with today's video. And you can let me know down below, how do you feel about these personal patch notes? Did they do a huge W with them? Do you feel like there's still something that they could do more? Now I'm gonna tell you this for free though. I feel like they really did a lot with these patch notes though, because you're gonna see in a second. But let's start off with the first page right here, which is as they say right here, a new patch version 2.0 is available starting Friday, oh, sorry, not Friday, February 26, 2026. To ensure the best possible experience for My Hero Academia All Justice, please download and install the latest updates, which again, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. Surprised it didn't come out on Switch at the same time, but we already know with the Switch how that goes. The adjustment details: improved operational stability, fix certain issues occurring during network matchmaking and loading, change so that items obtained via in-game code entry can be reacquired by re-entering the code if they become unavailable due to errors or save data deletion. And the character balance, read the full details link, which again we have right here, the US East 1 Bandai graphic assets. And then we'll continue to adjust the battle balance for various modes in the base game going forward. Thank you for your continued support of My Hero Academia All Justice. And with that, let me just show you guys these patch notes. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Now, before we do read all of this, some of the characters that I do want to mention that does deserve nerfs horrifically is going to be All For One Chaos form. I think Fumikage in his Ragnarok form is crazy. Monoma needs to get nerfed. Any character that does long range, I feel like needs to get nerfed as well. I think the countering should be like way more punishable than it is, because right now it's not really too, like, I feel like if you just throw a counter out there, like, come on, man, you gotta have like a 5 second to 3 second cooldown at least, like, please. Like, these guys just throw these counters out of nowhere, and it's like they don't get punished for that whatsoever. So that is a good thing that I will hope that they will do in these patch notes. But now that I got that out the way, let's go. So Rising. Fix the issue where characters in Rising state will revert to a non-Rising state when switching characters after a plus ultra combo. Fix the issue where attacks operation become invalid under specific conditions. I've noticed that too in some instances where I'm trying to Rising to continue on my combo, that it doesn't work. So I'm glad that they are working on that. Oh, and another thing as well, Hawks, I think he needs to be fixed with his plus ultra. Plus ultra combo change so that characters are now able to switch immediately and activate skills without waiting for the damage to end. Psychic change so that the psychic gauge is fully depleted when switching during a counter attack. Okay. Normal combo, fix the issue where characters did not execute properly when stuck to a wall. And this kind of happened with 100% full calling Midoriya. How in some cases he would miss his combo, and then in other cases he would let his combo. But I found something that would work with that specifically. Like if you counter and then you do the quirk skill 2, which is the circle button, you could combo off with that. But hopefully, you know, now if, you know, just for some reason you don't want to do the counter move into the circle action, then you could just do it normally. And then other. Fix the issue where objects such as bullets appearing from characters will disappear when a melee counter is occurred. Adjustments. Quirk skill 2, increase the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge. Quirk skill 3, increase plus ultra gauge. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so this is Bakugo. Increase plus ultra gauge acclimation rate. Increase plus ultra gauge acclimation rate during hold. Increase damage side recovery frame during rising. And then quirk skill 4, increase the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge from no input follow-ups and target combo button follow-ups. Okay. We got Uraraka, quirk skill 2. Reduce guard size recovery frame for the ground version during Ultimate Rising. Increase pushback distance for the ground version during Ultimate Rising. Increase recovery time for the ground version during Ultimate Rising. Increase opponent size recovery frame for the ground version during Ultimate Rising. Change to allow jump canceling at the end of the ground version during Ultimate Rising. Todoroki, increase chip damage when guarding. What? Increase chip damage with guarding? You want him to do more damage while somebody's hitting them? What? It should be less. Alright, we got Ida, decrease chip damage with guarding. I feel like everything should be less with guarding for chip damage off. Like, come on, what? And then increase hitbox size for the third hit off the ground combo. We got Froppy's target combo, reduce recovery time after the first hit, then reduce recovery time after the second hit. The second hit now connects consecutively even when guarded. And then reduce movement speed after the final hit's tracking ends. We got Kaminari, increase the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge in general. And then the target combo increases chip damage when guarding. Oh, brother, that's another character that don't want to get any benefits at all. We got Kirishima Rising. Fix the issue where guard chip damage was not functioning correctly during Rising. General fix the issue that sometimes prevented counter crash from occurring during hardening. And then the target combo increased chip damage when guarding. Why are we increasing chip damage when guarding? If anything, we should be increasing max HP at that point. Like, what? We got Jito with the Quirk Skill 1, adjust the hitbox sizes to reduce instances of getting stuck on obstacles. We got Yayorozu target combo, increased chip damage when guarding. Quirk Skill 1, fix the issue where both the Rising version and the normal version of the shields could sometimes appear simultaneously. We got Tokoyami, one of the characters. So the Rising, they changed to nullify most status ailments. Okay, so you can't burn them. Does that mean you can't freeze them? Like, you gotta specify what this means on most status ailments. Like, what? Like, what if I could freeze them, but I can't burn them, or I could, what's another thing? Damn it, I can't think of another. I could paralysis him, but I can't, like, you know, stop his quirks with Aizawa or something. Like, we gotta know what that is specifically. Target combo, increased chip damage when guarding. Quirk skill 4, increase the amount of stamina gauge reduction caused by Dark Shadow's attacks. That's crazy. We got Aizawa, Quirk skill 2, adjust the aerial version to make it less likely to force a knockdown. And then Quirk skill 3, they increase the recovery time. Add the ability to cancel into a dodge, and then reduce the rate to fill up the plus ultra gauge. Interesting. We got Dabi. There is 2 versions of Dabi in the game. I don't know if they're going to specify it or not. We'll see. So the Rising for this one changed to put opponents into standby state upon activation. And then fix the issue where certain characters' Rising abilities could be nullified. That is crazy. Quirk skill 2 change so attacks no longer disappear upon hitting obstacles. We got Toga with her target combo, adjusted to make attacks activate faster when skills collide. And then they increase her movement speed. And then on Quirk skill 1, they adjust the firing angle to make it easier to aim at the opponent. Reduce tracking performance after firing. And then fix the issue where using Ochako's Quirk skill 2 after transforming into her cause instability in the movement of the original Ochako Quirk skill in the team. Quirk skill 4 added a cancel route to charge Quirk skill, and then charge Quirk skill 2 change to face the body vertically. And then on the plus ultra, change to increase the plus ultra gauge more easily when attacking with the transform character. Fix the issue where under specific conditions, the transform character would be the opponent instead of an ally. Change to retransform during change combos, and then change to retransform during plus ultra combo. Next is Stain, Quirk skill 4, increase recovery time and added dodge, cancels to the recovery frame. Muscular target combo, they shorten a distance at which tracking ends during rising state to make it harder to pass through the opponent. Then the counter attack shorten the distance at which tracking ends during rising state to make it harder to pass through opponents. Unblockable attacks shorten the distance at which tracking ends during rising state to make it harder to pass through the opponent. I think it's gonna be the same thing, but just in case, I'll read it again. Quirk skill 1, shorten the distance at which tracking ends during rising state to make it harder to pass through the opponents. And then Quirk skill 2, shorten the distance at which tracking ends during rising state and make it harder to pass through the opponent. Okay, so that's what the... Actually, no, there's one more down here on the Quirk skill 4. So we got Quirk skill 3, added attack hit boxes to the torso area during rising to make it easier to land hits, and then increase forward movement speed upon activation. We got Izuku Midoriya shoot style. I haven't seen nobody use this character. Target combo. Adjust the tracking of the first hit of the ground target combo to stop closer, improving hit stability. Counter attack, increase the attack hit box size. Quirk skill 1 added super armor during rising. What? Okay. Quirk skill 4 increase the movement speed of the ground version during rising. We got Inasa counter attack, adjusted to cause knockdowns more easily. Slightly reduce the speed after the first hit of the aerial version to make it easier to hit opponents near the stage edge. And then reduce the damage knockback distance of the second hit of the aerial version. And then increase the attack recovery time when guarded for the second hit of the aerial version. Quirk skill 1, reduce chip damage when guarding. Change to target opponents in the vertical directions. The attack no longer disappears when hitting the background. Quirk skill 2, reduce chip damage when guarding, adjusted to cause knockdowns more easily, reduce stamina gauge depletion, adjusts the recovery frame to enable consecutive guarding, and reduce overall recovery frame when guarding. Quirk skill 3, reduce chip damage when guarding, change to target opponents in the vertical directions. The attack no longer disappears when hitting the background, slightly adjusted the pull-in direction to be diagonally downward on hit. Quirk skill 4, reduce chip damage when guarding, reduce the duration of the ground tornado, adjust the knockback direction upward upon hit. reduce recovery frame when guarding, shorten the hit interval of consecutive hits to make it hits more stable, and then increase the size of non-charged ground version. We got Togata, aka Lemillion, rising, fixed the issue where certain actions other than the movement became impossible under specific conditions. Quirk Skill 1 fixes the issue where character became transparent when the HP depleted and the next character appeared. Quirk Skill 2 increased damage side recovery frame during the final ground attack. We got Hado, change the rules for the number of side dodges can be changed from Quirk Skill 1 and charge Quirk Skill 1. We got the rising, adjusted the hitboxes of projectile attacks that were not colliding with other projectiles. Unique ability changed so that incoming waves no longer clash with other projectiles. What? Hold on. Timeout. Changed so that incoming waves no longer clash with other projectiles. So you mean to tell me that other projectiles don't mean nothing compared to Hado? Because that's what it sounds like right now. Fix the issue where tracking would be lost when dodging. Adjusted the wave movements to improve tracking performance. Changed to apply buffs even during change combos. The target combo reduced the recovery time of the second hit of the ground version. Counter attack adjusts to make damage harder to extend during combos. And the Quirk Skill 1 changed so it can be activated in mid-air if side dodge counts remain. Charge Quirk Skill 1 increase the time requiring for charging, increase recovery time, reduce damage, adjust to make damage harder to extend during combos, and then increase the time before a lateral step movement becomes possible. Change to allow canceling into Quirk Skill 2 and Quirk Skill 4 when hit. Reduce the range of targeted upward/downward with the ground version, and then Quirk Skill 2 when charged, increase the time required for charging. Next we got Majiki, unblockable attack. They increase the damage and then adjusted to make damage harder to extend during combos. Quirk Skill 1 added tracking for the opponents at varying elevations. The same thing for Quirk Skill 4. And then the Plus Ultra adjusted movements to stabilize hits on slopes. We got Ashido rising. Ashido is kind of a good character if you know how to use her. Change the target of the damage reduction effect from projectiles only to all attacks. Reduce the damage reduction rate and then fix the issue where the damage reduction rate was permanently activated. Her targeted combo adjusts the tracking distance of the first hit to stop closer to the opponent. Reduce speed after the final hit tracking. Quirk Skill 2 increases damage side recovery frame of finishing attacks. And then the Plus Ultra increased the size of the attack hitbox to stabilize hits. We got Mineta with his rising, increased the upward launch angle of pop-off during rising, allows it to travel further. Counter attack, added an attack hitbox to the jumping portion of the ground version. Changed so it jumps upward towards the opponent if no stick input is given during the ground version. Reduced the unrecoverable time of the aerial version and then expanded the vertical tracking angle of the aerial version. Quirk Skill 1 adjusted so that pop-off decelerates less when bouncing. And then increased vertical firing angle range upon launch. Quirk Skill 3 is increased upward launch angle to make pop-off travel faster. Increase the attack startup speed of the aerial version and then reduce the recovery time. And the Quirk Skill 4 is reduce the recovery time when the parry fails and then increase recovery time and then added dodge cancel to the recovery portion. Next we got Seiji with the targeted combo reducing chip damage when guarding. Certain 9 normal combos fix the issue where manual combos could sometimes result in unintended combo routes. Counter attack reduces damage side recovery frame. Quirk Skill 1 fix the issue where the character's facing direction would not reset after performing specific action such as an air dash during hold. Fix the issue where performing an air dash stick input version near the opponent during the hold would cause the action to end immediately. Adjust the distance at which the neutral version of the air dash ends while holding to be shorter. Fix the issue where the character would sometimes perform a previous action automatically when starting the hold. Adjust the hitbox size to reduce instances of hitting obstacles. Change so that the character does not move forward when firing continuously in place on the ground. Fix the issue where the stamp would sometimes disappear before hitting the character near the wall. Quirk Skill 2 added dodge cancel to the recovery portion. The Quirk Skill 3 adjusted the firing angle to make it easier to hit opponents at different elevations. Next we have Gang Orica with his counter attack, increased attack hitbox size for aerial version. Quirk Skill 1 increased attack hitbox activation speed. Fix the issue where it sometimes failed to hit opponents near walls. Increased sound waves projectile speed. Quirk Skill 2 increased damage. Quirk Skill 3 increased damage. Quirk Skill 4 adjusted to increase damage during combos. Plus Ultra adjusted to the aerial version to increase damage during combos. Next we got Overhaul. Quirk Skill 1 increased startup speed, increased recovery time, added the ability to cancel with the dodge, and then increased the size of the attack hitbox. Quirk Skill 3 we reduced the damage when all attacks hit. We got Rampa, rising, increased boost effect on Plus Ultra gauge. We got twice. They in the general adjusted so that attacks using twice duplicates characters makes it harder to increase the pulse ultra gauge. The rising changed the rising action to wait until the attack is finished before removing all allied character duplicates. Quirk skill 1 reduced the recovery time. Quirk skill 3 reduced the recovery time. Mr. Compress reduced chip damage and guarding. Now this is a character I wanted to see as well. Izuku Midoriya for calling 100%. The targeted combo adjusted time after knockdown to make combos easier to continue against opponents on slope. Unblockable attacks, the same thing, but I'm going to read it again. Adjusted time after knockdown to make combos easier to continue against opponents on slopes. Quirk skill 1 is the same thing as well. And then Quirk skill 2 adjusted the distance at which the aerial version begins to stop moving to be closer than before. The Pulse Ultra adjusted the size of the hitbox to make it less likely to disappear into the terrain. Changed to fly towards the opponent who are somewhat below the character at the time of the launch. Increased recovery frame of the first hit. The launch attack now has a more limited vertical aiming range. I'm going to be honest though. Not a fan of what they did with full calling 100% Pulse Ultra. Kind of lame in my personal opinion. I wish they did something more with it, but I guess. We got Hawks, another character that I used today. Quirk skill 3 adjusted the size of the hitbox to make it less likely to disappear when hitting obstacles. And then Quirk skill 4, they reduced the recovery frame of the first hit. We got Gentle Criminal Rising, changed the automatically generate a air bubble to be limited to 1 per combo. The unblockable attack added a cancel move to Quirk skill 3. They reduced the damage and then adjusted the knockback movement to be more moderate. Quirk skill 3 reduced the damage. Quirk skill 4, there was a lot here. Adjust the movement so that the attack no longer stops before hitting when used on slopes. Adjusted to move closer to the opponent during tracking. Increased the size of the attacking box for follow-up attacks after a hit. Extended the time until the opponent becomes invulnerable after being hit. Adjusted so the attack is harder to land when passing over opponent. Adjusted to make damage harder to extend during combos for aerial version. Then we got Hatsume, they increased the attack startup speed. We got Kendo, normal combo, changed the ground combo route. They use plus ultra. Quirk skill 1 reduces damage size recovery time. Quirk skill 2 enhance the tracking performance of the launch rock. In the bottom, again, there's a lot of things that we're reading right now, my bad. In both the normal and just input versions, making it easier to hit opponents in the vertical directions. We got Tetsu. Quirk skill 1 increased the turning performance of the ground version. Shorten the turning time when activating the aerial version. Increase the turning performance of the aerial version. Shorten the turning duration of the aerial version. Adjusted the angle at speed which the opponent is launched to make hits more stable. Increase the speed and slightly adjust the angle upward. We got the Nomu counterattack. Fix a bug where super armor was not being applied. That's kind of crazy. So if you use the Nomu, you're basically fumbling. We got Shinso Quirk skill 2. Increase landing recovery. When summoning a character during Rising, fixed the issue where summoned characters could sometimes end up standing on walls during Rising. Adjusted the timing to end the brainwashing effect sooner. And added a timing window for dodge cancelling when the brainwash effect ends. Quirk skill 4 expanded the vertical firing angle range to allow combos from ground target combos. And then the Plus Ultra adjusted KO timing upon hit. We got Ayuma. Increased the duration of stomach pain. That is good because Jesus Christ, Ayuma is crazy. The targeted combo adjust the final multi-hit attack so that it's less likely to cause a forced knockdown, except for the last hit. Quirk skill 4, weaken hit slow to stabilize normal combo hits, and then reduce guard size recovery time. The Plus Ultra fix the issue where attacks wouldn't hit certain characters at the edge of the stage. We got President Mike, the Rising fixed the issue where stamina gauge reduction was not occurring on some attacks. Reduce stamina gauge reduction from Rising ability. Target combo, increase recovery time for the second hit. Reduce damage size recovery time. And the counter attack change so that the attack hitbox disappears when receiving damage. Adjust the movements when hit to make hits more stable near walls. Increase recovery time for the ground version. Increase recovery time for the attacking side when guarding. And then reduce recovery time for the guarding side when guarding. Interesting. Quirk skill 3, reduce chip damage when guarding. And then Quirk skill 4, increase vertical tracking performance of sound waves from vertically placed amplifiers. Increase the duration of sound waves from vertically placed amplifiers. Increase the speed of sound waves from vertically placed amplifiers during Rising. Just to make sound waves from vertically and horizontally placed amplifiers less likely to disappear on slopes. And then increase the movement speed of sound waves from horizontally placed amplifiers. We got Midnight, just to make damage harder to extend during combos, starting from the third hit on the ground. And then the counterattack adjusted to make damage harder to extend during combos, and then adjusted to make it easier to force knockdowns. We got Kurogiri, reduce hit damage when guarding, reduce the speed at the end of the aerial version attack. Counterattack is increased the recovery time. Quick skill 1, increase the recovery time for ground version, reduce damage side recovery frame for the ground version, reduce attack side recovery frame for the ground version. Change the ground version so that it now causes the blocking player to be launched into the air. That's kind of crazy. Added a cancel route to target combos on hit for the ground version. Reduce the hit intervals of consecutive hits during the aerial version of Rising to stabilize hits. Quick skill 2, adjusted to make damage harder to extend during combos. Reduce damage gauge depletion. Change so that target combos no longer restore aerial usage. Quick skill 3, change so that target combos no longer restore aerial usage. Reduce damage side recovery time. Decreasing chip damage when guarding. Quick skill 4, increases recovery time after the warp. Then change so that target combos no longer restore aerial version. We get the high-end Nobu target combo, increased chip damage when guarding, counterattack, reduce stamina gauge depletion. Quick skill 1, adjusted to decrease initial speed of tentacles and increase final speed. Quick skill 2, reduce damage gauge depletion. Quick skill 4, fix an issue that grab location could sometimes be incorrect. We got Midoriya 1 for all. Target combo, reduce the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for ground version. Counter attack, reduce the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for aerial version. Quick skill 1, reduce the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for ground and aerial versions. Dang, got me on that one right there. The quick skill 2, reduce the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for ground and aerial versions. Quick skill 3, they increase the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for ground versions, but they reduce the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for the aerial version. Quick skill 4, reduce the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for the ground rising version. And then for the other one, increase the rate to fill up plus ultra gauge for the aerial side input and neutral versions. Fix the issue where the attack would not travel straight when the aerial version was activated while touching the right wall. Interesting. Cero, increase the travel distance of the air dash. Quick skill 1, added super armor to the approach movement during rising. Fix the issue where the aerial version could be guarded when hitting a roll-up opponent. Quick skill 2, fix the issue where the attacks would sometimes fail to restrain the opponent after hitting them with tape. And then quick skill 4, fix the issue where the attacks would sometimes fail to restrain the opponent after hitting them with tape. We got Ojiro targeted combo. They adjusted the knockback direction of the first and second ground hits to be diagonally downward, making it easier to connect combos against opponents in the air. Counter attack fixed the issue where canceling into target combos or unblockable attacks upon hit was not functioning. Increased movement speed for the ground version, reduced knockback speed for the opponents hit by the ground version. Increased damage side recovery time upon ground version hit. Adjust the ground version to make combo damage harder to extend. Change so knockback movements no longer varies based on the opponent's side upon ground version hit. And then change to delay the timing when canceling becomes possible after air version hits. We got Quirk Skill 2 where it reduces stamina gauge depletion. Quirk Skill 4, change to allow canceling into target combos with guarded, increase movement speed, increase the unrecoverable time, and then reduce damage, increase the size of the attack hitbox. We got Sato, the target combo, reduce the movement speed of the aerial version, unblockable attack, decrease the attack startup speed. Quirk Skill 1, fix the issue where the move would be interrupted when sugar counter reached 5 during rising. Quirk Skill 3, increase recovery time. We got Gakure, aka Invisible Girl, counter attack adjusted to make it harder to gain momentum, and then increase waiting time before tracking begins. Quirk Skill 1, change so that the light gathering level increases faster during rising, and then reduce the time required to increase the light gathering levels. Quirk Skill 2, fix the issue where the blind effect will sometimes fail to activate against grounded opponents. Fix the issue where the aerial version would not cause the opponent to flinch without charging, adjusted to make damage easier to extend during combos. Quirk Skill 3, they increased the recovery time and adjusted to make damage easier to extend during combos. Quirk Skill 4, adjusted hit stop and consecutive hit intervals to fix an issue where normal combos would not connect when charged. Increased burn damage during rising, increased burn duration during rising, and then the plus ultra, adjust to make it easier to extend during combos. We got Best Genius target combo, adjust the knockback of the third hit and final hit of the ground version to stabilize combos. Change the final hit of the aerial version to face up and down to make it easier to hit opponents on slopes. We got Miriko target combo, added attack hitboxes to the final hit of the normal version and the lunar deadly version to stabilize hits. Adjust the attack movements to make it easier to land against opponents on uphill slopes. The counter attack increased hitbox duration for ground version. Quirk Skill 3 added the ability to break tracking by moving backwards. Quirk Skill 4 reduced knockback distance, reduced damage side recovery frame, and then increased recovery time for aerial version. Armored All Might his rising chain so that each attack can only be cancelled once per combo. Target combo, reduce chip damage when guarding, reduce guard side recovery frame from the final hit of the ground version. Increase recovery time for the final hits of the ground version. Adjust the aerial version to be consecutive guards. Increase recovery time for the final hits of the aerial version. Quirk skill 1, decrease startup speed for the aerial version. Increase recovery time for the third hit. Increase chip damage when guarding for Quirk skill 1. Now we got Quirk skill 2. Increase recovery time when hit. Increase recovery time after upwards attack. Increase recovery time after downwards attack. Increase chip damage when guarding, and then increase the recovery frame. We got Quirk skill 3. Reduce tracking performance. And then plus ultra. Increase the stamina gauge. Oh my god, I'm messing up every time. Increase stamina damage depletion. I'm sorry. It's just so long. Eventually, I'm going to be messed up. But these are some other characters that definitely needed to get nerfed as well. Let's hope they do their job with this. Tomina Shigaraki, all for one. Rising. Fix the issue where HP will continue to decrease after rising ended under certain conditions. Target combo. Reduce chip damage when guarding. Quirk skill 1. Increase attack startup speed. And then reduce damage side recovery frame. What? Okay, so they don't see the big beam as a problem. And the fact that everything else in this man skip. But sure, I guess. We got all for one rewind. I need to see if the other all for one is okay. All for one chaos is there as well. So let's look at all for one rewind. Normal combo, chase combos, incorporating plus ultra. Target combo, improve the tracking performance of the second hit of the aerial version. Change the reaction of the second hit of the aerial version to stagger. Counter attack, adjust to guaranteed tracking even at close range. Added cancel rush to Quirk skill 1, 2, and 3, and plus ultra. After the animation to pull out revet stab and then reduce damage side recovery frame. Other, fix the issue where attack power will sometimes not return to normal after returning from rising state into training mode. We have Dabi Flame of Death. So they increase the dash speed, increase horizontal movement speed during jumps, increase movement speed of the neutral air dash, increase duration for stick input air dash, and to fix the issue where the super armor effect will sometimes not activate when Flame of Death level reaches 3 under certain conditions. We got the targeted combo, remove the waiting time to track for the first hit of the ground version. Reduce recovery time for the first hit of the ground version. Increase recovery time for the second hit of the ground version. Increase movement speed and travel distance of the ground version. And then increase movement speed of the aerial version. Quirk skill 2, increase damage. And then Quirk skill 4, reduce recovery time. Fix the issue where the attack will sometimes disappear easily when there was a wall to the left. Adjust the launch angle to be slightly downwards. And then increase the hit interval of consecutive hits. And then reduce damage side recovery frame. We got Monoma, his rising action, increase hit stop, and then adjusted tracking angle to be shallower. Don't know what the hell that means, but I feel like they should have done more for Monoma. Lady Nagant, reduce damage gauge depletion on her counter attack. All for one chaos, the last character, and one of the more anticipated characters that should be nerfed effectively immediately. General, change so that the attacks can be cancelled between different quirks, excluding the same move. Targeted combo, reduce chip damage when guarding and adjust the inertia and tracking time of the aerial version to stabilize hits at closer range. Quirk skill 1, increase attack startup speed, reduce tracking performance, increase the speed of the stick input version, and then adjusted the downward angle of the stick input version to be shallower. Quirk skill 2, increase the startup speed of the laser in the aerial version. What? Adjusted the aerial version to track downwards as well. Quirk skill 4, reduce activation speed of the attack hitbox. Reduce the movement speed of the rising attack hitbox to match the normal version. And then the plus ultra, remove guard hitbox upon activation. So with that, that's where we end today's long-ass freaking patch notes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and comment if you want to. You don't have to, but it's always greatly appreciated. Also subscribe. This is a character that you want me to test out. As soon as these patch notes go live, please let me know down below. I would love to see your guys' recommendation. I would like to prioritize that first over more of the other stuff that I would personally like to prioritize. And with that, I'll see y'all next time for the Star Stripes DLC, aka Patch 2.0.